Hey everybody, it's TrueFlight here. This time we're going to be taking a look at the Arcadia Quest Inferno game from Cool Mini or Not. This one's kind of a pseudo expansion and a standalone. I mean, it's a complete standalone game in the box, but it also adds to the existing Arcadia Quest world from the original Arcadia Quest and Beyond the Grave, as well as all the crossover stuff from Masmorra. Really cool way that they've combined all the games. Lots of new stuff in here, as well as the same core stuff. If you like Arcadia Quest, you're probably going to like this. If you like this, you're going to like the base Arcadia Quest. Goes both ways. This one has a little bit darker theme to it, and does come with some really cool miniatures, though. I don't know if you can make them out on there, but we're going to get them all out and show you anyway. And there is a ton of stuff in the box, just like the original game. So we'll get right in and take a look. Now, the first thing I'm going to say, I'm going to lift this off. I've already had these open and punched things out and moved things around. But you can already see that it's an absolute mess in here. And one thing Cool Mini or Not sucks at is designing inserts. And I don't even have any of the punch tokens that come with the game. I've actually punched them all out and put them in their own container, because they give you absolutely nothing to store them in. Not even plastic baggies, which is what I used in the original for a while. It's just packing these up in plastic bags. But eventually I'm going to make an insert for this one like I made for my original Arcadia Quest game. I may do a video on just making that insert because it's been a lifesaver with the original game, and I'm sure it's going to help out with this one as well. We made little removable trays for each of the guilds that have all of their tokens and everything they need in them. And you just put those, you hand one to each player, and you're good to go. For the box itself, this mess, yeah, I flipped it over for the video, so everything dumped, but we'll get to those. Try to shove them back in for now. So on the top here we have our rulebook. Honestly, 90% of the rules for Arcadia Quest apply to Arcadia Quest Inferno. If you're familiar with Arcadia Quest, you're going to be familiar with Inferno. There's 2 new rules, I think, in this one. But they do a pretty good job in their rulebook of laying out everything and explaining. I didn't have too many questions after flipping through. Lots of illustrations and things. Pretty well laid out. They're not new to this. They know what they're doing. It's almost, like I said, almost identical to the original rulebook, except for the couple new rules that are in there, which are the Brimstone cards and the Damnation rules. And then in the back, you have a whole section on fluff that talks about all of the heroes that are included in the set. And some of the enemies too. And then a quick reference card on the back. If you're new to the game, you leave this sitting on the table and pretty much has everything you need to play a base game right on there. Next we have our campaign book. I'm not going to flip through too much of this because I don't really want to give anything away in case some people are worried about spoilers. This contains a new campaign here, and you can see how the various missions are linked together. Just like with the original game, that you can pick a path through, and depending on which ones you go to, these little symbols on here give you bonuses in later on events. But again, I don't want to flip through there too much because I don't want to give any spoilers away for the people that are interested in that kind of thing. They don't even post this one online. You can usually find the rulebook to download, but these you pretty much have to buy the game to get. This is the game, really. We have our 4 new guild boards. I do like the new colors. They're really nice. We have the snakes here. I'm probably going to get one of these wrong. Those are tigers, I believe. Crows or ravens. Probably ravens. They had falcons, I think, in the original game. So another bird with faction. And then the sharks. The new colors are kind of neat too. Next we have our Inferno campaign sheets. You get a little booklet of these in all the Arcadia Quest games. This is how you keep track of your stuff from game to game. Most of the time we just take pictures of our guild layouts and things, but these are still helpful for who got what titles and who won what events. So nice to have around. You can photocopy these, you can print them out. If somebody hasn't already, I'll upload these to BGG. Pretty sure these ones are up. I think the pet ones are the ones that nobody uploaded yet. Of course, you have a new respawn tile with the Inferno theme on the back. And we have our new map tiles. Again, these are darker Definitely a lot more reds in there. I do like the fact that the indoor areas are significantly different color than the outdoor areas. Makes them much easier to differentiate. Like that entire tile is outdoors. Here you can see outdoors, indoors. Makes it much easier to differentiate than the original game. I do like what they've done with that. And also, I don't know if it'll focus on there. They've also labeled these as the other ones too. When you set up your campaigns, it's going to tell you what tiles you need and whether you need side A or side B. And they've numbered these all in order. So if you have the original game, I think the games come with 9. Yeah, you come with 9 tiles. So the original Arcadia Quest is 1 through 9. Beyond the Grave had 3 tiles, I want to say, in it. So those were in there. Pets has a couple tiles, so those are in there. So when you build a scenario, it tells you specifically what tiles you need. And depending on which ones you have in your box, you know specifically what set they came out of and which ones to use. Love that feature. And then this is pretty much where the insert, you can see, falls apart here. We have our new colored bases. Again, I said I love the new colors of the guilds, but sadly most people I know don't use these, and those are kind of difficult to tell apart on camera. Well, not too bad. I guess it's just the lighting. You look at it through the camera, it looks fine, but the lighting's glaring off it weird. But anyway, not too many people use these, especially once your figures are painted, because snapping these on and off the figure's bases actually chips the paint and damages. I tried magnetizing mine on my original set for a while, and eventually we just stopped using them. Honestly, it's not that difficult to keep track of who's in what guild and who's using what character, but they're there if you need them. So we'll go through the cards real quick before we get into the figure boxes. So we have all of our new mission cards here. Of course, they kill the various guilds. And in this one, they didn't do kill the blue, kill the green. They actually did the names of the guilds, which is kind of neat. And then, yeah, your various missions throughout the game, boss kills, specific things for specific scenarios. Then we have our angel cards. And these are the various angels that come in the base set that you can rescue in various missions and scenarios. Once you rescue them, they become part of your guild, and you can use these in place of one of your guild members. Some pretty cool abilities and stuff in there. They're all posted online somewhere. I'm not going to go through each one. And you have our hero cards. And these are the 12 heroes that come with this set. I'm not really going to go through and show each one individually. I'm sure you can find them online if you really want to know. But 12 more heroes to add to your Arcadia Quest arsenal if you have previous games, or 12 to start this one out. Plenty of heroes around now. Then we have a giant stack of monster cards themed for Inferno here. And the reason there's so many is that there's 4 of every monster in here. You have a level 1, level 2 to 3, 4 to 5, and a level 6 variant. Depending on which time you encounter them in various scenarios. When you're just starting out, you're going to be using these. Later on, when you have some equipment, you're going to be using these, and so on as you move up your final scenario. It's going to be these guys in the end. But there's 4 of those cards for every creature. And then towards the back somewhere, you get into our bosses. And of course, the angels. If you fail to rescue them during the missions in the game, they can come back later on as enemies, which can be a bad thing. And we have another set of dice. Same ones with the original Arcadia Quest game. You get 8 attack dice, 6 defense dice. Really wish they did 8 and 8. I'm not sure why. They kind of skimp on the defense dice. There's cards in here that give you more than 6 defense dice right on the base sets. So you're going to be using more dice than you have here in a game, which is really annoying. And then when you roll criticals, they have that exploding die mechanic where you get extra dice too. I suggest to everyone, buy an extra set of dice. You will use them. If you already own Arcadia Quest, you can use the dice from the first game as well as Inferno here. They're the exact same ones. So that should double the amount of dice you have and help you out. Next we have our Brimstone cards. These are pretty much the exact same thing as the Tombstone cards from Beyond the Grave, if you have that. During various scenarios, these are going to be placed on tiles throughout the board. You step on them, you have the choice of picking them up. Some of them are beneficial, some of them are bad. There's a lot worse ones, I think, in this deck than there were in the Beyond the Grave. There's also ones that help you a lot more, so keep that in mind. It's kind of a gambling thing. Because this is a standalone box set, we have a new set of Death Curses. These ones are also themed to go with Inferno as well, and they give various curses, extra Damnation tokens. There's one really bad one in the end here. 3 extra Damnation tokens, and it takes up a slot. These can be mixed in with your Arcadia Quest curses or used as standalone. If you are going to use these ones, I suggest playing Inferno though, because the Damnation mechanic is pretty heavy in here, and they play off of the various creatures and rest of the equipment that comes with Inferno. And of course, the entire reason the Arcadia Quest guilds are working their way through the dungeons is for the rewards. Whole new set of reward cards based on the lore that goes with Inferno. Some really cool equipment in there. And then again, one of the best things about Arcadia Quest is the leveling up after each scenario, where you get to go through and draft and buy new equipment to power up your guild. Because it's a standalone game, we've got a full set of all the different level equipment from 1 to 5, as well as some new starter gear. The majority of it is usable in either game, but a lot of it does use that new Damnation mechanic. There's some really cool stuff in here as well. Lots of new things to mess around with. And some more of the same. I think there's some things in here that were actually in the other game, so there's nothing... there's some that are crossed over, but lots of cool new stuff in there. Again, if you're going to be using these with the base game, you may want to remove the Damnation ones because they pertain mostly to the monsters and scenarios in this game. But there's cool stuff in there, both weapon-wise, equipment-wise, new spells, all sorts of cool stuff. Now we're getting down there a bit in the box. You can see here, this is the only real part of an insert that they gave you. It's got enough room in there to hold the dice. And then the cards on top. A little section for slightly bigger cards. And then you got this deeper one here, which, oddly enough, your regular cards fit snug down in the bottom, but there's no thumb hole to get them out, so you got to dump the whole tray. But once you start getting most of the cards in there, it actually fills up that lower section, and then you have this big section, which is slightly bigger than the cards. You can at least get a finger in there now, but they're loose. Nothing holds them in place, and if you turn your box on your side or upside down for storage, they're going to dump everywhere. So again, you're going to need to build some sort of insert, something to hold your cards and regular components in place. Next thing we have here is the Underlord, big boss guy on his giant toilet. It's a throne, but yeah. Call it what you want. Big, intimidating looking guy. Pretty solid too, he's heavy. Can't wait to see him all painted up. So our first box of monsters here, I think, contains most of the bad guys. So our top tray here, we got 2 of the demon guys. I don't know their names. 2 of the Cerberuses. Another one of the mini boss guys. I have no idea what any of their names are, sorry. Some female demons with spikes there. We got these really cool guys with wings and bows. More of the female demons. Have some almost like harpy looking girls with bows. And of course 2 of our heroes. And our lower tray has another one of our heroes. And then our 5 angels that come with the set. And for our last box, this is going to be most of our heroes. See there, most of the heroes. And then on the lower tray, we have the big fat guy, whatever his name is. And more heroes. I really will learn their names eventually. I just got this stuff. I haven't even gone through everything yet, let alone played a game yet. So I almost completely forgot about the tokens. Because there's no insert in the box, one of these cases works great for them. And they hold everything you need. You actually have some extra room. You can put the colored bases in here if you wanted. But we have our 4 guild token sets. And we have our, these are actually the guild orb icons that are used in certain things. Our other exploration tokens, the respawn tokens, the portal tokens, got our death tokens, ton of heart tokens for wounds, our coins, the damnation tokens, and then here we have all of our doors closed and open. It's also worth noting that some of the doors are actual different lengths than some of the other ones. Comes into play when you are setting up your scenarios. Sometimes they go kitty corner like this, and if you use 2 of the long ones, it'll actually overhang on the squares on the map. So you use one of the small ones in conjunction with one of the bigger ones to keep them from overlapping. But like I said, one of these cases works perfect, holds everything. You have the extra couple slots per whatever in there, and it's really easy to grab out what you need. And it's kind of a lifesaver until you get yourself built a better insert for the box. There's so much stuff packed in there. The game doesn't want to get all in focus here, but that's pretty much everything laid out there that comes in the box. And you see our angels here, our heroes there, all the monsters in the back, tiles, everything I just went through, all the various level cards, hero cards, angel cards, everything you need to play this, everything you need to expand your previous games, and of course our token box in the back. The Plano case does not come with it, but everything inside of it does. Overall, as I said, I have yet to actually play this because I just got it and wanted to do the video and show everything. But it plays exactly like the original Arcadia Quest with a few extra add-ons. The Brimstone cards we've already had in Beyond the Grave as the Tombstone, so that's kind of more of the same. I already know we like those. They're fun. The Damnation mechanics, kind of interesting. It seems hit or miss with the fans. It's very prominent in this. Almost, most of the equipment has some sort of bonus or penalty depending on Damnation tokens. The monsters have bonuses and penalties based on Damnation tokens. Things like that. Some of the heroes even do. And it might be too much for some people. In that case, I say stick with the original Arcadia Quest, because it is pretty heavily in this game. There isn't much you can do to remove it. But other than that, it looks like more of the same, and I love the first game, so a whole new campaign with new monsters to fight, new scenarios to play through. Definitely going to enjoy. I can say that with a fair amount of certainty without having actually played it yet. The only thing that's really new and stand out in this is the angels, which are in various scenarios, and you can rescue them, and they join as basically a 4th member of your guild. You can swap them in and out, and some of them are pretty powerful. I haven't looked through everyone yet. There was a bunch that came with the Kickstarter stuff as well, but they're kind of cool. Neat little addition to have that extra member of the guild. Kind of reminds me of the way they went with pets, so there's that in there as well. But other than that, everything's pretty much an expansion on what we already have and what I already know and love about the Arcadia Quest universe. I'd probably do a follow-up video here in a little while after we've played some scenarios, but I don't see anything changing on that. If you like the Arcadia Quest franchise, you're going to love this. If you don't know if you like it or not, you can pick this one up or the base game. Probably you might be able to find the base game cheaper at this point because this is pretty new still. When this hits the market, normally prices will come down, I bet. But right now they're still a little high because Kickstarter fulfillment's just gone through, so retail availability is still pretty low. Overall, though, it looks like it's going to be a great game. As I said, I haven't played, so I can't give you a definite on that, but I'm pretty positive, due to my experiences with the previous game and how similar this one is, that it's just going to be more of the same with a few new things thrown on there as well. And I'm pretty positive that we're going to like this one, and it's going to have a mainstay in there. My wife's already getting around to paint the figures. We're just finishing up the Beyond the Grave set. So anyway, that's going to wrap it up for Arcadia Quest Inferno. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.